So I wanted to mention one thing to you in setting this up. Today I'm going to do a study of just a vignette of some flowers, just the stems and the flowers, not worrying about the objects and the drawing of all that. But one thing to watch out for is light going through the flower. Because these are translucent, that makes them so much more difficult than something like a pear. And again, if you're having trouble with the pears, don't go on to something like this. Just keep sending in pear studies. That's fine with me. But I want to show you situations with the lighting that you're going to want to be careful to avoid. Right now we've got north light coming down on these lilies, and you can see really distinct light and shadow underneath here, underneath these petals. But when I put this real bright light on, notice how the light goes through the lily, and you've got all kinds of bright light down here. And so when you've got a artificial light really close to flowers, that happens a lot. You can see it on this one, the underneath. You can see that little bug crawling around down there too. But so take that away. Now there's light and shadow. Now it's all close to the same value. That's going to be a real problem to paint, because if you can't see the light and shade, you're not going to be able to paint it. And I often have this trouble in my classes because we're in a small space and we can't get people's lights further away than the next person. But in your studio, hopefully you can come up with a situation where you have the light a bit further away, even if it's an artificial light. See, that way you don't have this light going through it. Basically, if you have a situation like that, you have to treat it a lot like a reflected light, where you're dealing with it with a completely different mixtures of paint. In other words, all the white is going to be representing the actual light on the flower, and all you can do is give an indication of light going through it with your yellows or transparency. But if you add white down here, if you keep trying to lighten it up with white down there, just like you do up here, you will absolutely destroy your light and shade really fast. So you cannot use the same mixture to describe this light going through the petals as you use to describe the light actually on the petals. And our primary light source is always going to be the thing that I want to describe the most, and otherwise it's just going to be chaos. So I just wanted to let you know something to avoid in setting that up. My name is Robb, and I've been a professional artist for over 40 years. I first began taking art classes in Tulsa, Oklahoma while still in high school, and later moved to New York City to study art. My work has been featured a number of times over the years in publications such as Art of the West, The Artist Magazine, and Southwest Art, to name a few. For nearly 40 years, I have continuously been exhibiting my paintings in galleries, museums, and national shows. My teaching career spans several decades, and in this online course, I will show you the methods that experience has taught me work well to get information across to students. When conducting a workshop, I have two main goals. One is to help the students sharpen their ability to observe from an artist's point of view, something we are all continuously trying to improve on. These seeing skills are essential to every aspect of painting, from the relationships of values, color, shapes, and edges, to composition and creating a center of interest. My other goal is to show the students the ways I push the boundaries of what my materials are capable of in order to create a convincing feeling of light, form, and depth in my paintings. The demonstrations will be still life studies in oil, but most of the theories and lessons will apply to any medium or subject matter. Hope to see you in my course.